Welcome to NASDAQ Trade Talks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at NASDAQ. Joining us at the market site in Times Square, we have Travis Kling. He's the founder and CIO of Ikigai Asset Management. We're going to take a look at cryptocurrency's relationship with the financial markets. Travis, it's great to have you with me at Market Site. And you know what? This is a big topic right now, particularly with all of the action that central bankers are taking. But you have said cryptocurrency, you think it's one of the most important innovations since the internet.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we like to use the term crypto assets. So there's many different use cases for distributed ledger technology. Currency is one of them, but that's actually a misnomer for a lot of the different use cases for distributed ledger technology. But Bitcoin is specifically a cryptocurrency. So.
And you think Bitcoin could potentially be a hedge against central bank policy?
Yeah. So Bitcoin is a risk asset, but it's a risk asset with a specific set of investment characteristics that become increasingly more attractive the more irresponsible monetary and fiscal policy is from central banks and governments globally. So in that way, it is a hedge against that. There's been a lot going on with financial markets right now. Global macro is probably as exciting, which may be a euphemism, but as it's been since the financial crisis. There are a lot of moving pieces going on right now. Where Bitcoin fits into all that is, I would say, one, unclear, two, really dynamic.
Right.
So there's been periods of time earlier this year where Bitcoin has been, at least has appeared to be trading with gold, to be trading with CNH, with the renminbi, to be trading in line with aggregate negative yielding sovereign debts. And so the market is at times treating Bitcoin in a similar safe haven-ish sort of way. But then recently, starting in about mid-August, it started to disconnect from that.
Right.
So there's still, it's way too early to say. If Bitcoin is vying to be digital gold, well, gold has been gold for about 5,000 years, so it's going to take a little bit longer than the first 9 months of 2019.
I would agree with you. I did not expect Bitcoin to trade the way it did, considering everything that's happened from August, in particular with central bank activity in September.
Right, but it's also, like I said, it's really multifaceted right now because I'm sure you guys have been talking about this dollar shortage situation that's been going on both domestically and globally that has the Fed funds rate off sides from the repo rate, and obviously the Fed had to intervene in the repo markets twice last week, first time since the financial crisis that has happened there, and then the Fed is also issuing something like $600 billion of treasuries between now and year end, which even though they've halted quantitative tightening, that in and of itself is a form of tightening because they have to find all these dollars to go and buy these treasuries that the Fed's issuing. And things like that, there's probably a lot of people that would say that I'm crazy to think that that can have an effect on Bitcoin or on the crypto markets in general. But the way I think about it is like if you drop a big stone in the middle of a pond, like how far out do the ripples go? Well, they go all the way, right? And I would definitely say that Bitcoin is sort of all the way out there. But in the context of global capital flows, you're talking about Bitcoin, which has a $180 billion market cap, but only 10% of Bitcoin's moved in the last 30 days. So now you're talking about a circulating supply of something like 18 billion. And 18 billion in the context of global capital flows with things like the repo market or the Eurodollar market, which is the single most liquid market on the face of the planet, just something a little off there can end up, I think, having some trickle-down effects into the crypto markets, which I think is probably what we're seeing right now.
Right, but then you also have the conversation around with crypto, you don't run into the risk of printing. You don't have that inflation risk there because it's not like dollars or actual fiat currency where you could just print.
Completely agree. Look, it's the world in general is still trying to get their head around what Bitcoin is and what the underlying technology is. This digital gold narrative is something that's been getting a lot of traction lately, and there is a reason why gold is considered a store of value, and it's the 6 characteristics of money. It's durable, it's divisible, it's portable, it's uniform, it's accepted, and it's scarce. and that's scarce one. That's a really big one, right? And Bitcoin, from an Austrian economics perspective, is the hardest money in human history from a scarcity perspective.
All right, let's wrap it up here. Really interesting piece on the Ikigai website, social responsibility as an investor in the digital revolution. What are you talking about there?
Distributed ledger technology and crypto assets have the potential to make the world a much better place by democratizing data and user experiences and, in Bitcoin's case, money back into the hands of people. And if we thought that centralized powers, whether it be in governments or Wall Street or big tech companies, if we thought that they were doing a great job handling that power, then there might be less of a need to democratize that. But I think what we're seeing is unchecked power fail at kind of every level, and society is beginning to recoil from that. And I think that's true in the political level in the United States, and in the UK, and in the European Union, where, at least in the United States, our political process is about as broken as it's been since the Civil War. That's not hyperbole. And Wall Street has many problems with trust as well too. And when you look at big tech companies, you literally have Elizabeth Warren running for president on a platform to break up big tech companies based on data privacy issues. The #1 documentary on Netflix right now is a documentary focused solely on data privacy issues. These things are increasingly moving into the forefront of the collective consciousness. Distributed ledger technology has the opportunity to be the platform to drive societal change for the good. And that's why we named the firm Ikigai, because that seemed like the kind of thing that was worth spending the rest of my career working on.
What does that mean?
Ikigai, it means a reason for being. It's an ancient Japanese concept. Yeah, it's a combination of what you're good at, what you like to do, what the world needs, and what you deserve to be paid for. So they say if you get all 4 of those things, then that's your Ikigai.
I could get behind that.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thanks so much, Travis, as always, for joining me in Trade Talks. And thank you. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at NASDAQ.